For 18 very long days, the world hoped and prayed that Cleo would be found safe. In a story that's now been retold thousands of times, those hopes and prayers came true. But the story that doesn't get often told is the investigation that started on that day. The meticulous, forensically driven investigation by the WA Police to determine what happened over those 18 days. The importance of that investigation is what culminated today in bringing the offender of those evil crimes to justice. So can I firstly thank the men and women of the Western Australia Police Force. I'd like to make special mention of the community of Carnarvon who supported police for those 18 days and the days since. Our police officers worked tirelessly, but they were there by our side, supporting us through a wide range of food, support, mental health. I'd also like to thank the volunteers, the Defence Force, other emergency services, and every member of the broader community. And I think that's the real story, the real positive story to come from this evil, evil crime. And that is, at times of crisis, we do come together as a community. We work together. We have a common purpose and a common outcome. And it was extremely pleasing to see the community work together on this occasion. And finally, to Cleo. We owe you your privacy. We owe you to grow up and have your dreams come true. So from all of us, it's time we give you the space to do so. I'm happy to take any questions.
What is your reaction to the sentence?
Look, early on in my career, I actually spoke to a father of a victim of a serious crime. And he said to me, as a dad, 1 million years isn't enough. And that's driven by emotion. And as a father, I understand that. And I would expect the community would never think that 13 and a half years is enough. But Judge Wagner had to weigh up many things, and there were many mitigating circumstances. And I respect the court's decision.
It's been dubbed the most successful missing persons case in the nation. Where does it rank for you on career highlights for you and your team?
For Western Australia Police, for me as Commissioner, this is number one. This is the greatest story in Western Australian policing history as a successful outcome. We don't want these crimes in Western Australia. This is a horrific crime, as I've already said, an evil crime. But the community outpouring of support, the WA Police dedication to their duty, as I heard someone say the other day, this is a gold standard in investigation of this type.
Gold standard, but is there anything you could do differently?
Look, there's always lessons from investigations like these, and in fact we've applied many of the capabilities to a wide range of investigations. We are always learning. Policing will always improve, but this is something that I know that we focused heavily on capability, people, and we deployed over, at some point there was nearly 200 police officers involved in this case.
Has this case changed WA Police for going forward, for example, the number plate recognition cameras that are throughout the state?
There's no doubt about it. When the amount of data that's available to police in an investigation like this, no human can access all that data and come up with the answers as quick as we would like. So one of the big changes in investigation like this is how do we get better at understanding data, how can we analyse it quicker and solving crimes faster, and that's been a huge focus of Western Australia Police since this incident.
Do you think that the way the police dealt with the person that was sentenced today, Mr. Kelly, affected how he assisted police, or brought it, things were brought to a close quickly?
What I can say is the police investigation was meticulous, was thorough, and that often contributes to why a guilty plea is actually given early, because the information that we had and the evidence we put together was exceptional.
I know in the early stages when Cleo was found, police spoke about like a jigsawing of evidence. Is there like a smoking gun piece of evidence or something that you can elaborate on?
Look, investigations like these, there's not a single reason why you solve a case like this. We use data overlays, automatic number plate recognition, telecommunications, eyewitnesses, good police work, good hard police work, boots on the ground. All of those things contributed to us finding Cleo.
What pushed Kelly into the forefront of detectives' mindset?
Well, all of those things combined together. We were fortunate that it was early at the night, so the movements of people was relatively minimal, and so that gave us a better opportunity to narrow down suspects.
The judge had a bit to say about the use of methamphetamine. Obviously, he could access it in Canada.
Look, methamphetamine is a problem for Western Australia. It's a problem for Australia. We're always up for that drug fight, and you can see, my focus from Western Australia Police is to target those who deal in that death.
Have any other agencies, such as the FBI or agencies of that standard, reached out to WA Police for tips and guidance on how to solve these sorts of cases?
Look, these are the cases that we do present around the world, and we will be and have been presenting around the world to other agencies. We've got a lot of interest around how we solve this case. That's something that we do work together on. But, we also learn from the FBI. We learn from other agencies around the world. Global law enforcement must work together to solve cases like this as fast as possible.
Do you think this has deterred anyone from potentially doing anything like this, saying that you guys can get to that result?
Well, our focus in Western Australia Police is solve crimes faster and solve more crimes faster. I hope that is a deterrent to offenders, knowing that the likelihood of you being caught in Western Australia is extremely high.
Was there any, this may have been dealt with already, but any awards for the police who were involved, any recognition, any personal recognition?
Well, all police that were involved in the investigation already got a Clio pin, the fact that they were involved in that investigation, Operation Rhodia, and there are probably in our future some further awards to be given to some of the key people.
And this would be, these would be police service awards?
Police service awards, but I can as Commissioner extend that out to other organisations. As I said, there are a number of volunteers up there, even the helicopter company, in the first moments of Cleo going missing, they had their helicopter up in the sky. There are significant contributors to the outcome of this case that I would like to personally recognise.
It's about 140 strong team from memory. Is that one of the largest operations that you've ever had?
It is, and the question before about what are the lessons learned, the surge of significant policing resources and capabilities was probably something that other agencies have come to us and said, how have you structured up so quickly and deployed? I think that's a lesson for all law enforcement agencies, to put the resources in early and fast.
Have you heard how Cleo is going?
Look, I think the important thing that I want to reinforce here today is we should all respect Cleo's privacy from now. I want her to grow up, as I'm sure we all do, as a happy girl who meets her dreams in her life, and we all must respect her privacy. This was on a global stage, but now the time is for police to merge into the background, so to speak.
Do you have a message for Mr. Kelly at all?
We did our investigation. We put it before the court. The court made a sentencing decision. This is an evil crime. He committed a heinous crime, a parent's worst nightmare. As I said before, I'm a police commissioner and I respect the way we do the rule of law, but as a father, that's something I could never forgive.